Rigathi Gachagua has continued his onslaught on President William Samoei Ruto, telling him that the major opponent he has, even after he is bragging that Raila Amolo Odinga is no longer in the equation, is the Gen Zs and the millennials in Kenya, that those are the major opponents that he will face on the ballot come 2027.
Nirudie. William Kipchirchir Arap Ruto, kama huna habari, mimi nasikia unajigamba ati vile mzee wetu Agwambo amepumzika, ati wewe huna mpinzani. Kama huna habari, ukiwa pale Qatar kwa ile hoteli unakaa, ile 7 star, tunasikia unakula vitu huko. Kama una habari, William Ruto, your greatest opponent, if you don't know, are the Gen Zs and the millennials of the Republic of Kenya.
Now, rumor has been circulating, and we even saw it in one of the prominent journalists in Kenya, Stephen Leto, posting it, that what about a president being Kalonzo Musyoka, the deputy being George Natembeya, the national speaker being Eugene Wamalwa, the Senate speaker being Martha Karua, the prime minister being Fred Matiang'i, then 50% stake of government given to Rigathi Gachagua. Today, Gachagua has dismissed that as pure rumors and NIS-driven operative to tell people that they've already settled on the agreement. He tells people they have not, and he is going to do all it takes to convince his other principals that he is the best for the job.
Nimeona Kasongo amesponsor ma headline kwa ile magazeti yake jana. Rigathi asimami, ati sijui atawachia wengine ati apewe share ya serikali. Nani nakwambia? Rigathi is a front runner in this race, my friend. Rigathi, what I need to do is to persuade my colleagues that I have the numbers, I have the mobilization capacity, I can marshal enough resources, I have enough inspiration, I have enough messaging capacity to defeat William Ruto. I'll persuade my colleagues to make me the flag bearer. In case I don't persuade them, and they persuade me that another Kenyan can do it, I'll sacrifice. I will. But hiyo gazeti muliona, hiyo ni gazeti ya Kasongo. And it is run by the National Intelligence Service. I would like Kenyans to ignore that nonsense that was there yesterday. Sisi hatujaketi kukubaliana ni nani. Na hatukai haraka. Tutakaa baada ya Christmas 2026. For the time being, our single presidential candidate for now is Ruto must go. And our plan for now is one term.
Gavana Wamuchomba dismantles John Mbadi's excuse that says if the government honors the CBA that the lecturers are demanding to be implemented, the government will overstretch its budget and so many activities risk being stalled. Wamuchomba is arguing that they use over 300 million almost per week. You see people running with the choppers, CSs, government operatives, board of directors running with the choppers left, right, and center in the so-called empowerment meetings, yet having some money to honor the CBA by lecturers cannot be implemented. That's a joke of a century. Listen to Gavana Wamuchomba as he dismantles that narrative from CS John Mbadi.
Sasa Mheshimiwa Mbadi ambaye ni Minister wa Treasury and Planning Ministry Amesema kama lecturers watalipwa ile pesa wanaitisha kulingana na ile agreement walio sign ama wana negotiate, the Kenyan government is going to be under immense stress financially. Nikacheka. Nikacheka kwa sababu that is a hypocrisy of the highest order. You know, you can't tell us that paying your own workers, your civil servants, what is due to them, what they qualify by merit, is going to put the economy and the government of Kenya under financial stress. Yet, every day, MPs, senators, governors, and civil servants, especially those that are working for government parastatals, the board members, directors, wanachukuana na magari kubwa kubwa na mahelicopter every weekend, wakienda the so-called empowerment. They are dishing over 300 million weekly. Pesa ambayo haina mahesabu, haina accountability, na hiyo pesa inatoka kwa serikali hiyo ambayo inasema they cannot afford to pay lecturers. Even if you decided you're not going to do any empowerment, dishing money programs for 1 week, it is sufficient for you to pay lecturers and dignify lecturers. Kwa hivyo hiyo maneno Mbadi anajaribu kutuambia ati hawezi afford, to me, it's neither here nor there. It is just cheap government excuse. Lipa walimu wa university pesa zao. And it is very dehumanizing for a minister in charge of a government to speak about matters, lecturers, so lightly, like the 120,000 students who are stranded are not children of citizens of Kenya who pay taxes.
Honestly, isn't it the reality? Isn't it the truth? How much money is being used by this regime just to make sure they are re-elected? The so-called empowerment meetings, these are taxpayers' monies that are being used. The monies that are being used to fuel choppers in weekend events. Those monies that they have used since the inception of Ruto's regime to date, isn't it enough to pay these lecturers? You know, sometimes we just need to be honest with each other. There is a misuse of public funds, and that goes without saying. The state visits that Ruto does, they are too much. You will think that we are on a campaign season. Left, right, and center, they're touring the whole nation. Why don't they just sit down and work in silence? I mean, their job should be speaking for themselves. And that is not happening anytime soon. So, it is good that the government get to realize this factor, that the people want service delivery. The people want to see development. The people want to feel that their taxes are working for them. Not in the case like right now, the polity is feeling that their taxes are working against them. Because again, it is used to plot a difficult economic situation ahead, that they're already facing a difficult one. You don't need to come and prove to us that things are working. We need to feel and see. That is the typical Kenyan for you. So, stop so much of rhetorics and get to work. What's your take on this? What's your thought especially on Gathoni Wamuchomba's analysis on CS Mbadi's claims and excuse of the government overstretched if they try or agree to honor the CBA by lecturers? Give me your take in the comment section below. If you're watching from my YouTube channel and you love content of this nature, kindly subscribe and press the notification button so anytime that we are live or we upload content of this nature, you'll be the very first person to be notified. Ahmed Khalif is my name for the unscripted talks here in Dub Radio. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Kwa timba kali za Afrika, DAB Radio ndio mpango mzima.